ladies. This is Lisa Zemer with week 10 and day 2 of Walk Worthy of the Lord. The principles that we like to go over when God gives us a verse is to think, pray, and walk. This particular verse today, God has really been working in my heart this morning, and this almost brought me to tears. So just bear with me, okay? This verse leads into the book of John, chapter 9 and verse 3. This is about a man who was blind from his birth. So let's read this, and we'll talk about a little bit of God getting the glory. It reads, Jesus answered, "Neither has this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of God should be manifest in him." I heard a testimony this morning of a young lady. She wanted to know why she was an alcoholic. Was it because of her parents? Was it she genetically made up? She didn't understand. But when God gets to glory, and that God can be manifested through these things that He's allowed into our lives. There was this lady when I was a young Christian. She was testifying in church, and she was thanking God for her illness. And I thought to myself back then, how can she be thankful, to be sick? Her doctors had given her 6 months to live, but she outlived her doctors, and as far as I know, she's still alive today. Her name was Betty Gilstrap, and that really that struck something in me, because during that time she was able to have a relationship with the Lord that she never had before, and that she proved that her God's real, with giving Him the glory and outliving her doctors. God, this is kind of crazy to say. My first husband was sick all of his life, but the last 10 years of his life, he really got sick. And but to be entrusted with a sickness, right? To be entrusted with a sickness, because when you give God the glory, and He's manifested through the sickness, it works out so much more in your faith. And right when I was getting ready to start this devotional today, that series Chosen, a video came up right before I got ready to play the music, and it was Jesus healing the lame, and how no one would take him to the pool, and Jesus asking him, "Do you want to be healed?" And just the dialogue, he says, "Well, I'm having a really hard day." And Jesus is telling him in just a series that you've been having a really hard day for a long time. But we serve a God who heals the blind. The lame walks. It made me think of that little song, He is able. He makes the lame to walk again, and He calls the blind to see. And if you're discouraged with being sick, just remember, Jesus cares, and He will get the glory. You have to put it into His hands. So let's think, pray, and walk today. Ladies, let's walk worthy of the Lord.